Hi parents, so I hope this video finds you well. Let's see if I can get this in focus. I wanted to take a moment to explain a little bit about some of the strategies that we've been working on in Bridges at the moment. So right now we're looking at multiplication strategies for multiplication and division, because we talk about a lot that division is just the opposite of multiplication, so we need to use multiplication using particularly ratio tables to help us understand division as well. So a little bit to explain ratio tables. Ratio tables, all the students know how to set up a ratio table. So it's a long T-chart, and we'll have a number of something right here and then a number of something right there, and it's basically skip counting by the numbers. And so students know that skip counting happens a little bit at a time. So today, for example, we had number of cases versus the number of water bottles. Not battles, bottles. So the number of cases and the number of bottles. In one case, there was 24 bottles. So if we were to take this example right here and we were to double it, if we multiply times 2 on the top, then we multiply times 2 on the bottom. Or we would add 1 on top, we would add 24 on the bottom. So we're just counting by that. So if you double the top, you double the bottom. If you add on the top, you add whatever the difference is on the bottom. So let's say we skip to 5. So we know how many are in 5. We know it's going to be double this plus 1. So 2 of these, 96 plus 1. This would be 120. So we could double this one and also add 24. Double this one, add 1, that gets you to 5. So this is just one of the strategies that we have as we work forward through getting to larger numbers. So let's say we need to get all the way to 25 cases, figure out how many bottles are in 25 cases. So we know that 5 times 5 is 25, so we could just skip all of this and multiply both numbers times 5. But we want to take it in smaller increments just to make it a little bit easier. So let's go ahead and double this one. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 12 would be 240. Double this number, double that. 10 times 24, 240. This number, it always multiplies back to here. 5 times 24 is 120. 10 times 24 is 240. So we go back and forth through these constantly until we get to our answer. We could double this one more time. We see a repeat. This number repeats this one, just add a 0 and you have the same number. So if we double this one again, we get 20. 0, add a 0 here, add a 0 there. It would be 480. Okay, so then we can just add the 5 because we've already had 5. We already know that's 120. We know that 20 is 5 away from 25. So we can just skip all these other numbers.
This is just a friendly reminder from your neighborhood.
Sorry about that. So we continue 20 to 25, skip 5. So we know we're going to count 120 from there. So we can just take these, add them, and we figure out that 25 cases of 24 bottles is 600 bottles in all. Another strategy that we use is an array. So an array, we draw out our box. Okay, we know that one side is 25, one side is 24. Okay, we could do 20 times 20, but we like to think in terms of base 10, meaning we use tens to figure out some of our numbers. So how many tens are in 2? We have 2 tens in 2, and then there's 5 left over. So 10, 10, and 5. How many tens are in 24? We have 10, 10, and then we have 4 left over. And then what we do from here is we figure out how much is in each box, and we figure out our array. 10 and 10, 100. 10 and 10, 100. 10 and 4, 40, 10 and 10, 100, 10 and 10, 100, 10 and 4, 40. 5 and 10, 50. 5 and 10, 50. 5 and 4, 20. So after that, we go through and we just count everything up. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 540, 580, 600. So we go through and we figure out one at a time how much is in each one. So these are just several different ones. Area models would be doing all of this and just finding the area instead of breaking it up like this. So an array allows us to break it up into smaller bits. Area model just figures out what's 25 times 24, which follows standard algorithm. It's just a visual representation of the standard algorithm. So hopefully that helps. That can be something that you work on with your student, and then we can just kind of go from there. So thank you, and I hope this helps again. Thanks.